Mr. Mukesh?
Yep. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Mukesh. Let me turn my
Yes. Good morning. Yes.
presentation on.
Yeah, I don't have any presentation as such. So,
Sure, please.
yep. So, good morning, Professor Ravindran, Professor Nandan, my fellow panelists, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me to deliver the keynote speech at the third industry conclave on financial analytics. Today, I will talk about adoption of AI ML in financial markets, which are focused on specific use cases at NSE. So before I move on, I would like to briefly introduce NSE. NSE over a relatively short period of time has emerged as one of the largest exchanges in the world. It is the world's largest derivatives exchange in terms of number of contracts traded as per the statistics published by Futures Industry Association in the calendar year 2020. NSE is also ranked fourth in the world in the cash equities market by number of trades as per statistics maintained by World Federation of Exchanges in the calendar year 2020. In India, NSE has almost 100% market share of the equity derivatives market, 93% of the cash equities market, almost 70% of the currency derivatives market, and over 95% in the request for quote or RFQ platform for debt markets. Few institutions in India have built a strong global reputation, and I would submit NSE is one of them. NSE has a fully integrated business model comprising exchange listings, trading services, clearing and settlement devices, indices, market data feeds, technology solutions, and financial education offerings. NSE also oversees compliance by trading and clearing members with the rules and regulations of the exchange. NSE is a pioneer in technology and ensures the reliability and performance of its systems through a culture of innovation and investment in technology. As an institution of national importance, NSE plays a critical role in working with regulators, government, and market participants in the development of markets. NSE is always focused on what is in the best interest of the Indian economy, markets, and investors, and is focused on improving the financial well-being of people. We recognize our responsibility to help India achieve its aspiration and takes its rightful place amongst the world's leading economies. In order to achieve sustainable high rates of GDP growth, it is critical that we expedite market development and capital formation. While the equity markets in India are relatively well developed, penetration is low relative to emerging market averages. We need to continue to focus on finding creative ways for investor education and awareness. NSE has an elaborate investor education and awareness program with about 3,500 webinars conducted in the last 1 year. And in fact, we have been regularly conducting webinars right through our inception and on-ground events also for the investors' education. Beyond the equity markets, bond markets, currency and commodity markets are at a nascent stage in India relative to the potential, and it is critical that these markets develop over the next 2 to 3 years. It is important that the trust in markets is enhanced and that we further integrate the Indian economy and markets into global ecosystem. We need to therefore make sure that markets develop in a disciplined way, and NSE is focused on ensuring the highest standards of governance amongst listed corporates and integrity of markets through regulation and surveillance of market intermediaries and trading activity. Technology and risk management are critical areas of focus, and we continue to invest in these areas. Over the last 3 decades, since its inception, NSE has established itself as not just a leading exchange globally, but it has also maintained its dominance through the application of technology. The focus on technology for scaling greater heights has been a consistent theme for NSE, from it being the first exchange to introduce internet-based trading in India in early 2000 to the current focus at the exchange on AI and machine learning and artificial intelligence in the areas such as enhancing process efficiency, market surveillance, cyber security, and predictive modeling. NSE, in fact, we have recently started investing in startups with presence in the fields of artificial intelligence, machine learning, analytics, digital, robotics, security, blockchain, etc., where startups require early stage financing and incubation to expand and realize their full potential. Through such partnerships with select startups which have demonstrated technological potential, NSE Group aims to further strengthen its technology leadership. These fields present innovative solutions and breakthrough technologies which could potentially change the future of capital markets in India and the world. One such recent investment has been in Capital Quant Solutions Limited. The name of the company, I repeat, Capital Quant Solutions Limited, a Gurgaon-based startup focused on providing software products using ML and NLP that help in extracting and analyzing structured information and building machine learning models for extracting data from complex, unstructured financial documents. Let me take this opportunity to first focus on broader adoption of AI ML in financial markets. After that, I shall come to the specific areas where we as an exchange are using cognitive technologies such as computer vision, machine learning, NLP, etc. Now, coming to adoption of AI and ML in financial markets. Artificial intelligence is having a disruptive impact on the financial markets. Business organizations have reached a point where they have vast amount of structured and unstructured data which can be fed into various models and analyzed. The insights generated from such analysis are leading to the transformation in business processes, product offerings, risk management, etc. Market participants are experiencing this transformation on a daily basis. Some key areas where we are witnessing disruption in the markets include: first, rapid and efficient collection of structured and unstructured information and analysis of the same to generate insights or at times signals. Second, connecting market prices to a wide variety of indicators, thereby diminishing information asymmetries and potentially boosting market stability. Third, providing dynamic and automated modeling. Fourth, potentially lowering trading costs. AI is being used across functions. What we believe that AIs are used across functions, including operations, human resources, cybersecurity, regulation, and analytics in the financial markets. Application of AI in the financial markets are broadly seen in the following areas. First, trading and portfolio management. Next, capital optimization, risk management, market analysis and forecasting, big data analysis of indicators such as index prices, market sentiment, and news, regulatory compliance, client-facing chatbots, robo-advisors for internal and client use. As I mentioned earlier, NSE has always been on the forefront of adoption of technology to offer an efficient and a fair marketplace to all market participants. Let me now share with you our journey as an exchange on the path of AI adoption. To give you a fair idea, I will share about 6-7 specific areas where we are actively transforming our businesses with AI. Number one, as an exchange, we have embarked upon a digital transformation journey. Many of our internal processes have traditionally been manual, and we started by questioning each and every process flow within the exchange. As an exchange, we are a document intensive business. Many of our processes involve extraction of relevant information from the documents. These could be regulatory documents such as company disclosures, operational documents such as member net worth certificates, member core certification, undertakings submitted by members for co-location, collateral documents such as bank guarantees and fixed deposit document, etc. The list is just endless. However, each and every document journey within the exchange has been very carefully evaluated and is now being processed by a cognitive automative engine which extracts key data points from the documents. In some cases, reconciliation of legal undertakings against the templates is performed automatically. Earlier, we used to have detection of seals on every page of a legal document being performed manually. Now, very interestingly, we are about to use computer vision to automatically detect seals from legal documents. We see tremendous scope for intelligent automation of our processes. Next one is in the area of surveillance. So basically, usage of artificial intelligence in the real-time monitoring of the markets will become more and more important as there is more content being generated in the form of news and social media. Over time, it would be important to proactively identify potentially manipulative activity, as it would not be humanly possible to handle the scale of content that is generated, diversity of the content, and cross-correlation amongst it. Hence, we see AI models come up for monitoring the market activities, and we see a scope for continuous improvisation of these models to keep pace with not just the quantity of information, but also in the ability to pull out suspicious activity commentary. This will ensure that markets continue to remain disciplined, organized, and transparent, all which are founding pillars of any exchange platform. Third, we have also implemented intelligent models in the area of index rebalancing and maintenance. Announcements from corporates is a key input for this function. These announcements are shared by the companies listed on the exchange as unstructured PDF documents, which were manually evaluated by a team for the relevance of the announcement in rebalancing of the index. On an average, we get around 500 announcements on a given day. Selection of the relevant announcements is now fully automated using intelligent models. Now, next use case is cybersecurity. This is again very interesting. Given the rapid digitization of business and proliferation of IT with cloud, mobile, IoT, smart devices, new apps, the footprint of IT touches everything. To monitor each element of the ecosystem and hunt for abnormal behavior or security issues are beyond the scope of manual and traditional IT models. There is a huge need to implement machine learning and AI models to monitor all the telemetry and identify abnormal behavior. NSE's 100% subsidiary and global cybersecurity service provider, Aegis Cybersecurity, has announced the launch of its next-gen Cyber Defense Center or CDC in Mumbai. The Aegis CDC has implemented automation in threat hunting, playbooks, and threat detection using machine learning, using technologies like ElasticCM, IBM user behavior and entity behavior analytics, Microsoft Advanced Threat Protection, and Microsoft Sentinel. Many machine learning models are trained on alerts validated by analysts and using threat hunting. This includes combining ML models, user behavior and entity behavior analytics, and telemetry from internal and external sources to know attacker tactics, techniques, and procedures. Analysts are evaluating the data from automated threat detection techniques to understand relationships between data sets to reveal hidden malware threats. ML models are allowing automatic addition of newly discovered threats to the watch list for faster detection and response. This is helping us to detect and protect threats effectively and at scale. The next use case is we are working with a Canada-based startup to launch an AI ML-based predictive platform. It uses automated machine learning to help users predict markets, understand market drivers, and manage risk. Using the platform, users can easily deploy accurate models to predict any financial instrument, and no data science or coding expertise is required. It uses a distributed cloud infrastructure deployed alongside with proprietary data lake, facilitating easy access and use of globally available data. The features of platform can be categorized into three components. First is data. Second is modeling and machine learning. Third is visualization and implementation. The startup has already deployed this platform with leading global organizations in consumer packaged goods, manufacturing, financials, brokerage houses, and hedge funds. The last use case, we at NSE also offer analytical products using the trading data of NSE to the market participants. One of the analytic products is real-time market data analytics. It provides 46 analytics on multiple order and trade parameters. Real-time market data analytics acts as an additional research tool for enabling trading decisions for market participants, such as trading members, investors, algo traders, researchers, etc. Next product is real-time options Greeks feed, which Professor Nandan also had mentioned this on in his presentation. So we also have this product. Basically, globally listed options are one of the largest traded financial instruments. The availability of option Greeks in real time is critical for the market participants to trade options efficiently. This analytics provides real-time calculation of higher order derivatives like delta, theta, vega, gamma for direct trading opportunities based on various ratios. This product is very useful for option traders. So these are the few use cases of AI and ML at NSE. Now, what are the challenges of adopting AI? It is now equally important to also focus on the challenges related to AI implementations. The implementation of AI is not easy. It is important for us to understand the same. The most common challenges for deploying AI in financial markets today, cited in a survey by SAS and the Global Association of Risk Professionals, are data availability and quality, Next one is stakeholders' lack of understanding. Third is lack of necessary skills. Next is time to realize benefits. NSC continues. NSC continues to work on initiatives which will allow further democratization of data availability and quality. We are working on a platform which will allow fintechs to subscribe to data on demand, and it will contain not only exchange data, but other relevant alternate data as well. This will ensure that fintechs can get all the relevant information from one single platform and can focus on providing solutions to the customers rather than worry about data availability and quality. Exchange is also running a very active education initiative, both in capital markets as well as deep technology, through its group company, NSC Academy Limited, and also a company which we recently acquired, Talent Sprint, which is a Hyderabad-based company. One of the key enabling factors that is essential for wider penetration of AI ML in financial services is to marry domain know-how with technical knowledge. Exchange is working on both the areas by running various trainings, labs, and seminars. Now coming to the risk of adopting AI. There are some inherent risks in the AI projects, and it is important to be aware of the risk and also have a credible mitigation plan to address the risk. There is a context sensitivity to the risk, as every engagement will have different criticalities associated with the same risk. However, I would like to call out some of the common risks in the AI projects. First, AI and ML models offer a finite level of accuracy. Those processes which require 100% accuracy either are not the right candidates for AI or should have a human in the loop to cover the last mile. Next risk, at times the cost and timelines for such projects can become unpredictable. Since we are not dealing with a very deterministic science, here many times a lot of research is needed to solve a problem, and the exact time frame estimation becomes a challenge. Next risk, scarcity of technical talent exists today, as staffing these projects many times becomes quite challenging. However, we do expect that over time, this risk will get mitigated as the industry adoption increases in India and overseas. So while concluding, I would say that we are in a moment which is very similar to the mid-18th century times of industrial revolution. Organizations like the World Economic Forum include AI along with other technologies like mobile, robotics, and IoT in what is being referred to as the fourth industrial revolution. More and more firms in the financial services industry are seeing value in leveraging machine learning and artificial intelligence for automating their processes and decision making, and we expect this trend to continue in the coming decade. Intelligent automation is today being implemented with such vigor that I have no doubt in saying that the road to the full-blown AI world would be through intelligent automation. At the end, I would like to say that there could not be a better time than this for a young technologist starting a career in the financial services industry. There is tremendous amount of disruption that you can create. The timing is just so right. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Mukesh, for your keynote address. I've just collated a few questions from YouTube and the Zoom sessions, and so I thought I would post them to you. The first question is having to do with the recent NSE crash. So in February, we had this crash thanks to what we understand from the outside as loss of services from telephone service providers, but perhaps you could give us some color on that, as well as letting us know if there has been any betterment since then to avoid problems like this.
Oh, I would say that that was a technical glitch, as you correctly said, and which we have been talking to the regulators, etc., and working on the RCA. Otherwise, this is one of the incident which happened, which is unfortunate, but we have been working on it. It was a technical glitch.
So you mentioned various ways in which AI and machine learning can play a significant role with NSE. One of my questions is, so there are a lot of sell-side services, right? Like which is business process automation, cybersecurity, and so on. But what is the core business model with NSE when there are lots of customer-centric value-added services? So you also mentioned predictive analytics, for instance. So that is not something that is a requirement for the platform to run, but it's more of a customer-centric value-added service. is the intention of NSE to commoditize a service like that, or is the purpose primarily to encourage greater market participation, or both?
No, I would say that what this predictive modeling, etc., whatever we are providing, like something similar, like we are also providing options Greek. So our idea is to give as many tools as possible to the investors, which will help them in their trading and investments decisions. So like we have started with this predictive modeling, and going forward, like we have a mutual fund distribution platform also, wherein we can look at how we can help the distributors with their portfolio allocation, etc. So our idea is to give as many tools as possible using AI, machine learning, or the new technologies, which will help the investors in their investment decisions.
Okay. And my last question is, what do you see as the possibility or scope and ways through which fledgling startups or academic bodies collaborate with NSE? And so if there is a new product, if there is a new idea, how do you think the easiest path to market is to go to the retail space directly, or do you see NSE as also being a channel or a conduit for some of these services?
So I think, as I mentioned earlier, for all these new areas, we have been actively looking out. We have been trying to partner with such startups, or also academics. If they have any project which we believe is of relevant to us, we would be more than happy to partner with such startups, etc. We, as I also mentioned, we have created an incubation funding, and we have identified areas wherein we would be willing to invest. And one of the investments which we have already made, and we would be more than happy to partner. So our idea is to basically make the capital markets as efficient as possible. India is already one of the largest capital markets globally. How can we make our markets more efficient? One is for internally for our own improving in our own processes, etc. As I said, we have done automation of documentation, data extraction, what the brokers, what we get the data on the investors, because a lot of manual time was being spent. So we are doing that. Plus also is what we can do using the huge amount of data. Today, if you look at it, in a day, almost 6.5 billion orders get executed at NSE. That is almost 1.8 billion orders getting executed every second. So that is the kind, sorry, every minute. So, but that is the kind of orders which come. So what we are believing, and see, large institutions can have their own technologies, etc., to do predictive modeling, etc. So can we equip the mid to small size investors also with various inputs, which will help them in their investment decision and trading strategies? I think that is the objective. So we will look at both partnering. We are open to partnering. We will be open to investments also. We have created an incubation funding also. So wherever we feel that it is of relevance to us, it is related to our capital markets operations, we would be more than happy to partner or do incubation funding.
Great. And one last question, sir. With this technology comes the fact that much of the order flow itself does not happen at the pit, but more through algorithmic trading, through directly connecting through the internet. And we know that that has sometimes caused problems, like the infamous flash crash that happened in the US and so on. What is your view on the effect of algo trading and market makers, coming in through this channel in terms of preventing things like the flash crash in the NSE?
Yeah, basically to have the efficient and liquid markets, you need to have all kinds of traders being present, algo traders, HFT traders, retail, etc. All kind of traders have to be there. And you need to build you need to have robust technology and systems to make sure that such kind of flash trades don't happen. So we also have this kind of checks and barriers to make sure that this kind of flash trades don't happen.
Sure. Thank you so much, Mr. Mukesh, for this very interesting keynote address.